Have you ever felt like you were falling apart? Like the version of yourself that you worked so hard to build was crumbling right in front of you? The identity that you lived in, the roles that you played, the masks that you were wearing, the ways that you defined yourself, suddenly they just didn't fit anymore? And in that moment, you wonder, if I'm not that person anymore, then who the hell am I? It feels like death, and in many ways, it is. Hi, everybody, welcome back to HSPTV channel. This is a place for highly sensitive people and soulful leaders who want to live aligned with who they really are. I'm Barbara, and in today's video, we're exploring the death of the old self and why falling apart isn't failure at all, but an initiation into a new version of yourself. And why you're meant to let the old version of yourself dissolve before you rise into the truth of who you are becoming. If this resonates with you, then make sure that you hit the subscribe button and to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the weekly videos that I share here. So I know this path of the death of the old self really, really well because I've lived it more than once. And there were seasons in my life where everything I thought I was, the identity, the role, the safety of being that person, it just fell away and collapsed. And I tried to hold on. I tried to keep being that version of me that made sense to other people. But it seemed that the harder I clung, the more painful it became. And eventually, there was just nothing left to cling to. And in that collapse, I felt grief, confusion, fear. I felt like I was broken, like there was something wrong with me. But what I learned is this: falling apart is not failure. It is the death of the self that I no longer need. The death of the version of me that has carried me as far as it was able to carry me. And on the other side of that death was life, a new version of myself, new opportunities, new things to explore and experience. And I see this same cycle in so many of my clients. And one of my clients had built her entire identity around her career. And when it ended, she felt hollow, like she had died. And for months, she grieved. Not just the job, but the self who had lived inside it. And slowly, as she let that version of herself dissolve, she discovered a part of herself that had been waiting for years to just come out and breathe. And from that spark, she built a life more authentic than the one she'd spent decades constructing. And another client who had a whole sense of self that was tied to being a partner and a caretaker. And let me know in the comments if you recognize yourself in these stories. And when the marriage ended, she felt stripped bare, like nothing was left. And for a very long time, she spiraled. She tried to piece her role back together, but eventually she had no other choice than to just let go. And it was in that letting go that she finally met herself. Not as someone defined by others, but as someone whole in her own right. And years later, she says that death was the doorway to a love that she never thought possible. A love first with herself, and then eventually with others. And another client once told me, I don't know who I am if I am not the strong one. And when her life broke open, when her life broke her open, she could no longer hold it all together, no matter how hard she tried. And at first, she was really disappointed in herself and she thought that she was being weak. But in the breaking, she discovered softness, vulnerability, and a truer strength. And today, she no longer carries the world alone. She lets herself be supported, and her relationships are deeper than ever before. Again, if you recognize yourself in these stories, or if you want to share your own story, then I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below this video. Have you ever noticed this, any of these things in your own life? That the collapse of who you thought you were eventually gave rise to a truer version of yourself? Drop a yes in the comments if it resonates. So here is the bigger truth. The death of the old self isn't the end of you. It's actually an initiation. The masks, the roles, the strategies that once kept you safe aren't meant to survive the journey. Because your soul isn't here to keep proving who you've been. It's here to embody who you are. And to embody that, the old has to fall away. Like a seed cracking open before a plant can grow from it. Or like the caterpillar dissolving into this icky goo before it becomes the butterfly. And like you, each time you fall apart, only to rise truer than before. And here's the part that only comes with time. This isn't a one-time event. You will die many deaths in your lifetime, and each time it will feel like the ground is disappearing beneath your feet. And each time you'll grieve the self that you are leaving behind. And each time you'll wonder if you're failing. But with each cycle, you'll learn that falling apart is not failure, that death of the ego, death of the self, is not the end, and that collapse is not the problem. It's the threshold. And on the other side of it is always a more aligned, more truthful, more embodied version of yourself. So if you are in that place right now where it feels like everything is falling apart and you hardly recognize yourself, then know this. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are just being reborn. And if you are looking for a community of like-minded people to share this process with, to get some support while you're going through it, and maybe even learn things about yourself so that you can grow even further, then you might want to join my solutions community. The link to do so is below this video. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to discover your unique design so that you can understand yourself better, learn everything about your path, your soul purpose, while also healing your heart and tapping into your wealth, then you could request your Be You by Design blueprint. The link to do that is also below this video. And if you just resonate with this, but you just don't really know what you want or what you need, or maybe you're very clear and you want to work one-on-one with me, then I'd like to invite you to book a free clarity call with me. The link to do so is also in the description below this video. And don't forget to tell me in the comments, are you in the middle of the death of the old self right now? Or are you looking back at one that you've already lived through? Because falling apart isn't the end. It's the passage into who you are becoming. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that this video was inspirational. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to inspiring you with another beautiful video next week. Bye for now.